Stella's project. Yeah, Stella's project, the book project. That's where we are going to do most of our, that's where we are going to do all our tests. Hope, is the font okay, or I need to increase on the font? Is the VS Code font okay? Samuel says it is fine.
It's okay.
All right. Okay, yeah. So basically, when you create an app, there is a module that comes called tests.py. That's where we put most of our tests. Yeah, and Django uses the inbuilt unit tests to kind of like work on its tests. Yeah, but I know for you guys, if at all you open your test, your test what, if you open your tests file, you'll have something like this from Django.test, import test case. Yeah, so test case is the class that we usually subclass to make sure that we manage to do most of our tests. So what I'll do, let me just go ahead and activate my virtual environment here. Yeah, so I'll do some tests, and then you people, maybe as an assignment, you'll end up finishing up with others. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, with tests, usually we are going to test. Of course, you can test forms. You can test. You can test views, and you can test models. Yeah. Usually with models, mostly you test the methods on the models, just like when you look at our models.py. Now, like I actually created some. We already have, I think, around three methods here, because here there is nothing to test. Yeah, there is nothing to test. But these ones that we have defined ourselves, the str, the get absolute URL, and the book name. Yeah, we could test them and see see what they actually provide. Yeah, so, and the good thing, even actually what you have been doing most cases now, like going to maybe going to the shell to do adding in some prints here and there, we are usually actually doing testing all along. So what we are going to do to test our models, we're just going to we're just going to start by writing a small class here that says, okay, class, we're going to call it book model test, and this one is going to import, is going to inherit the test case. Test case, like I told you, test case actually is also inheriting from the unit test, the one that comes with Python. Yeah. So basically, inside here, in the class of the class of the test we are trying to do, we shall actually define methods where we're going to be writing our actual tests. Yeah. Now, like maybe you can say, supposing you want to test this method of ours, book name, get book name. We can say, okay, test maybe test get book name method, something like that. Yeah, as long as the name of the method makes sense, yeah, you are free to do what, to call it whatever you want. Then we can decide to maybe put a comment inside here and say, though actually these comments, when you put them here, they actually they can help you generate doc strings. Yeah, so we can say method must return book name, something like that. Yeah, so after that of course we have to import the book method here. Yeah, so we are like, okay, from dot models we import book. Okay, all right. Yeah, so in order to return a book name, at least the book object must be there. So we are going to say book dot book is equals to book, and it takes in it takes in the name and the pages. So we have the name here we have is actually we can do book dot objects dot create. Yeah, dot create. So that I'm trying to avoid using the the save method. So I'll just say maybe there is a novel I enjoy a lot. It's called River Between. And maybe it has 200 pages. Okay, yes, since it has 200 pages, so I would say maybe self dot assert equal, then I'm like, okay, book dot this method is get book name, get underscore book underscore name. It must be equal to the name that I've put here. Let me just copy this, paste it there. Yeah, so that is our first test. Let me try to run. As long as you do python manage.py test. Yeah, it actually works. Maybe to try to explain, the test case has these assert methods. I think actually even these assert methods, they are methods of that it also inherits from the unit test class. Yeah, but basically it just compares two values, and if actually they are equal, it return that means the test passes. And basically, and usually for the test now, like if let's just maybe try to add another n here, and you see how this error fails. Yeah, whenever it fails, the area actually there is an error. There are some error messages that are returned, whereby it tries as much as possible to explain what has gone wrong. And now, like actually, it is saying that okay, it is an assertion error, whereby what it has in this river between is not equal to what has been given here, because here now we have added another n. Yes, yeah. So basically, as time goes on, actually, now like me usually, in most cases, in the beginning I used to write. In the beginning, usually you write your code before the test, but at some point, actually, you realize that wherever you start, whether you start with your code, wherever you start with your tests, whatever you decide, it will actually work. Yeah. Do you have any questions regarding this before I can continue, or to add other things? Any questions so far? Yeah. So when you try to run this code now, it actually works. Stella, do you have a question? I see you have switched off your microphone. You have switched on your microphone. I mean, Sylvia, do you have a question? Sylvia, do you have a question?
Not really. Okay, not a question, but those quotation marks on line 7, and that's how we write it standard.
Line 7, eh?
Line 7 and 9, yeah.
Actually, line 7 and 9, these usually these are called, should I say, okay, this is actually the normal this is one of the formats that we can write strings in Python, because in Python we can either use single quotes, we can use single quotes, we can use double quotes, and we can also use triple quotes. But when you use triple quotes, that means our string can actually span over one line. Now you can yeah. But now because of this feature, it can actually act as in one way or the other, it can act as a comment in a function or a method, right?
Sort of describing what the test should do.
So actually, what people do in most cases, what people do, like if you structure them properly in every method like this, they help, and you can install a package that will pick all of these at the end, so that it creates a documentation for your code even without writing an official documentation, right? So if at all at some point someone tries to call this method at some point, and maybe use that package to create the documentation, you could have you could have suggestions. Or maybe now this box of suggestions could maybe have that small documentation. Now, like here, it could have that small documentation like this. You see the way this one is popping up.
Yeah.
You could have something like that because of the of this string you put there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So what you're saying, that even if I use the normal quotation marks, it works, but it's good to use these ones because of the reasons you've mentioned.
Yeah. But though I've never used the normal quotation marks in the doc string here. I've really never used it. But I think just for conformity, I think we should go for this. But I'll still try them out, right?
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes the wording may be long, and so it makes sense if at all you can push the wording to the next line.
Okay. All right.
So, but are we okay with our first test so far?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
All right. Maybe we can also test. Let's try to test we're going to try to test the str here, if at all the name is returned. Yeah, and maybe one thing I'd forgotten to mention that every time each method that is being run, first of all, it has to start with the word test. Yeah, it has to start with the word test, so that the unit tests can easily grab it and work on it. Also, each method actually a completely new test database is created. Yeah, just like you see here, you see creating test database. Yeah, so yeah, it helps in that so that you can run that test on a fresh database. Yeah, and when all is done, the test databases are what are kind of like trashed. Okay, so let me just say test underscore book string maybe magic method. Yeah, you can you can give your functions any signature you want, as long as it makes sense to you. Yeah, it is very, very that is okay with you. Maybe method must return a book, maybe string representation. Yeah, yes. So what I'll do, I will actually almost have the same things here. I'll create a book instance again. I'll create a book instance, and then I will try to cause here actually the string representation returns the what, the name of the string. Or we can be a little bit innovative and say, okay, now it returns pages instead. Yeah, it returns pages. So I'll just come here and say, yeah, but actually to get the string representation of our object, we just have to typecast it into an actual string. Yeah, because this object is not a string, but when we typecast it into a string, it will give us the string representation we want here. So the pages are, like we said here, they are 200. Yeah, okay, let's try to see that it actually works. Yeah, it has failed. Yeah, because actually we are converting it into a string, but the value we want to equate it to is a what, is an integer. So this actually has to be int. Yeah, and actually I think even the error was already saying that the type error, this one returned non-string type. Okay, yeah, let's try to see that it actually works. Okay, int argument must be a string. All right, okay, let's just take it back in the usual so that it may return a string, because maybe the magic method, when it calls the superclass, the superclass method of the string representation might be wanting to return a string. Okay, but nevertheless, let me first undo here. I will still undo. It will almost look like the one above, but for this time around we are testing we are testing the str method instead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this should work. Yeah. All right. So with regards to models, like I said, in most cases, you'll be actually testing these methods. You'll be testing these methods to see if at all they return what you expect them to return. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of like an introduction to tests. With regards to models, usually sometimes you'll find that people actually will create a package. Maybe they will create a package and call it maybe tests. They create a package called tests, and inside here, of course, they will create a new file called danda init, then danda.py, and if you know when you have that, then it's this folder is already is already considered a package. Then you have you can have test underscore maybe models.py. Then you can have another one for views. This is just for organization, yeah. And test underscore views.py. Yes. So once I have these, let me try to copy. Let me try to copy the model code from here. I'll just cut it and paste it inside here. Yes. So what I'll do, let me also try to delete this, move to trash, and then I try to run again to see if at all it works. No module named books.test.models. Okay, yeah. Since we have moved it into a module, that means we need to change the reference of our models here. So we can start with the package itself, which is books dot models dot to import it. Yeah, I think that is okay. Yeah, now that when you try to run, yeah, everything will run fine. Yeah, and actually you can see now at least our work seems a little bit more organized. Yeah, in a good way. All right. Okay. Yeah. So this for now, this is enough for testing our models, since we had very little going on there. Now let's try to do some testing for the views. Pauline, you're finally here. How are you?
I'm fine, Emma. How are you?
I'm good. You are late. What happened?
So sorry, my battery died.
Oh,
Both laptop and phone, and just had to put all.
I remember you said so in the messages. Okay.
Yeah.
The good thing this session, afterwards I'll share the link to the video, so that what you missed out you may learn. But basically, we have just been trying to test our models, and we have finished testing our models. But you'll find that part in the video. Now we are going to start testing our views to see that actually they do what we intended them to do. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. To get started, I will now we are in a folder called test underscore views dot py. So again, I will import Django dot test. I will import test case. Okay. Yeah. And then I will also import others as we move on. Okay, so basically I'll go now for each set. Maybe I'll do one, and then I'll also give you time to do the other, maybe. Yeah. So for now, let's start with the user registration. So I'm going to just create each class actually. It is usually it tests a single view. I think it's the best way there. Yeah. So I will have a user register view. Then I will do what? It will import the test case. Yeah. Then our first method will be to test register page. Register page. Now, like you a normal user, let's test if at all the register page is rendered. Usually, a normal user, when you are actually going to register, you first click on the register link. You first click on the register link, and then of course it will render the register template when it is empty. So maybe I can put in some comments here, and I say register page maybe is rendered on a get request. Yeah. By the way, when we are testing the views, there is a class or that we usually use in this test. It's called the test client. Actually, we use the test client, and I'm going to show you how you do it. So first of all, you can define your URL. URL might be like you put a string like this. Maybe if it is register, I think hours. If at all you look at urls.py, hours is register. Yeah. So wait, you just have to put it like that, something like that, and then of course we can start building the URL. How we build the URL? We are like, okay, response is equals to self dot client. This is the one I told you about. This object, then dot get for a get request. Yeah. So we can put the URL here, or if at all you don't want to have an extra URL, you can maybe just put this whole thing inside there. Register, just like this. Yeah, but sometimes to kind of like do something at least neat, that's why I had created a variable and I had put in this string here. But it's not a must that you have to do it that way. Yeah. So once the request is made, an object will be returned, and it will be stored in this variable called what? Response. So it is this variable response that we will test. Of course, you very well know from our view here, the register view, if at all it's a get request, that means this one down will be the line on 35 will be returned. So that means the register user.html page will be what? Will be rendered. And what error message do you think? What status code do you think will show once that response comes? Any guesses? Yes, Sylvia says 200. Yeah, which is okay, which is true actually. So it's actually what we are going to test. So we're like response dot status underscore code. Then you're like let's check if at all it is. If it is 200, that means our test has actually worked. Yeah, that means our register page has passed the test. Yes. and it works. Sometimes actually even you can be even more more intuitive and say, okay, self dot assert. Yeah, we can look for. I want us to find the template that actually is being rendered. Yeah, so I'm going to look down here. Template used. Yes, template used. Now for template used, I'm trying to get some suggestions here. It takes in the first parameter is the response. Yeah, so I'll just put the response. Then the second parameter is the name of the template we want to know that was used. Yeah, I think those are the only two. And they are saying that the name of this template has to be a string. Okay, so we shall do a string there. I think the name of the template is register user. Okay, yeah, register underscore user. So we put it inside there. Register underscore user .html. Yeah, you have to put the whole template. Yeah. All right. So if we run, yeah, we have actually that means we have used two asserts and they have all worked out fine. If at all we try to put another error there and we try to run, it will complain, I think. Yeah, and actually even here it is saying that false is not true. Template, this one was not a template used to render this one. Actually even it tells you the right template that was used to render. Yeah, and that's the good thing with these tests, in that if at all even you at some point you come back to these views and try to change inside here to maybe you add another error here. Yeah, imagine you have written your test once, but it will continue checking your code to make sure it is the right code. Yeah, so because when you test something, at least it will guarantee you that it won't fail anymore. Yeah, it won't fail anymore, so that it can help you to focus on other things and be well assured that that part of your code actually works. Yeah, please, if you have any questions, you can either type in the chat box, or you can just let me know. Any questions so far before we can continue? Yes, Sylvia.
I don't know if my question is getting ahead of myself, but
it's okay.
if it's a class-based view, is it the same system?
Yeah. If it's a class-based view, it is still the same. And I think for wait, when I go to these views, now like this book view, this book list view is a class-based view, right? Yeah, so actually let me do a fast forward so that at least we have seen a function-based view. We can also try to see how a class-based view does its thing. Also, we see how a class-based view does. We shall also see this scenario whereby this class-based view requires someone to first log in. Yeah, we're also going to look at that. Yeah, at least if at all we look at those two scenarios, then we shall be in position to at least finish the other views. Yeah. All right. So yeah, but before I leave the registration view, at least let's try to test a post request on the registration view. Yeah, let's try to do a post request on the registration view to see if at all our at least to see that a user is registered. All right, so we shall do def here maybe and say test user maybe gets registered. Okay. Of course, it takes self. Then now, with regards to our registration view, if at all you look at the registration view here, if at all the registration is successful, the person is redirected to the login user page. Yeah. So in most, actually, we are going to be testing for this redirect. If at all the person is redirected and where they're redirected to. Yeah. If they're redirected and where they're redirected to. And I would like you people, as I'm doing this, to guess on the status code of a redirect, because what Sylvia said, the 200, that's for success. Yeah. Now for a redirect, I would like you also to start brainstorming the error code. I mean the status code that you think we shall have, because actually that's what we're going to be testing for. All right. Yeah. Oh wow, Samuel. Yes. Samuel, you are right. Man of the man stack. You are right. All right. So just like I said, user is registered and redirected to login page. All right. Yeah. So again, I'll use this my notion of using a URL, but this time round, actually, I'm going to import. I think it is from Django. But I think URLs import. Yeah, I will import reverse. Yes. Yeah, because it is very easy for me to make a mistake here, by the way, in this URL. It is very easy to make a mistake, but yet I can use reverse to actually, when I use reverse, I just come to the urls.py and I just copy the name attribute of my path here, of this path I want, and I put it there. I think this one is easier known to make mistakes. Yeah, so that you leave the job of finding the URL to Django to help you with it. So I will define now the response, and I will say okay, self dot client dot post. Then this time around I'll use the URL variable that I've just gotten, and then yes, of course, Sylvia, Django is cool. Yeah, Django is cool. It makes web development very, very fun. Yeah. So here in the response, you very well know, if at all I look at the registration, I'll need a username, I'll need an email, I'll need a post. I'll need a password. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Django, you relax, it does everything. As long as you have this what is included, it can easily be good for you very fast. Yeah, so I'll just put a username. Oh no, it has this dictionary. The key is the username. Then the value is, maybe I'll create a username for Django, and then the other field we saw was the email. For email, maybe it will be Django, maybe at email.com. Then of course the password. The password we can have a wait. password, we can have this very strong password 123. Yes. So after that, so basically, yeah, the post request will be made using those attributes. Then after it is made, it's what we are going to be testing. It is self dot I'll still use as assert equal or assert. I'll use assert equal. I expect the response dot status code to be 302, like Sam had specified. Yeah, because it's going to redirect when it is successful. It redirect, but we want to be sure that it has redirected to the route we intended to, by using assert redirects. Redirects the first parameter is the HTTP response, as we can see here, and then followed by the name of the URL where it has redirected. And the good thing, we have this reverse again. So cause here in view we said it has to redirect to login user. So I'm actually just going to copy this string for login user, and I'll just paste it inside there. It will sort out itself to find the URL. And then I think the last parameter is the target status code that we expect, yeah, which is 302. All right. Yeah. So when you do that, let's try now to run our program again and see. And the good thing, we have an error. We have an error, and it says register this object has no attribute. This one, yeah, I think yeah, client, yes. Yeah, I misplaced the E. Yeah, so running there, yeah, again I have another error, because actually this one has to be status underscore code. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, hopefully this time it runs. Yeah, and it has run. Yeah, so it ran 4 tests, and wait, yeah, it ran 4 tests, because here we have 1, 2, and also in the other test underscore views we have 2 more tests. Yeah, exactly. All right. So we have managed to at least test the registration. Maybe for your assignment, you can try to test. You can continue testing this when the user maybe doesn't supply a username. If a user doesn't supply a username, that means actually you'll be surprised that when I was looking through this code for, I think it's for Stella, she had not put in these checks and balances to see if at all the username is empty or the email is empty. Yeah, and then if it is empty, then you render the register.html again. Yeah, so actually you can test this. If at all you remove one, does it still work, or it renders the HTML page? Yeah, this could be good for you to do more tests. The good thing, I've showed you the pattern and how to check for redirects, how to check for templates, how to check for if at all one status code is equal to the other. And yeah, Sylvia, so even the login view it will almost be the same. Yeah, so you should try it out. Yeah, but for now I want us to at least I'm going to try to check out we're going to try to test one of the class-based views. Yeah, yeah, let's start with the book list. Yeah, we're going to test the book list, and yeah, to see how it works. Yeah, all right. Yeah, because the book list, it has to have a list of what of it loops through a list of books. Yeah, using this query set. All right. Okay. Samuel is asking, is it possible to run specific tests without having all tests running simultaneously, especially when trying to test a particular body? Yeah, it is possible. It is possible. It is possible. I think even there is a way you can do it. Let me see if at all I have it just off my head. Now, like Python manage.py tests, and then you say maybe test underscore views. Let's see if this will work. No module named test underscore views. Yeah, because it is tests dot tests underscore views. Yeah. Python manage.py. Okay. This is books dot. I'm trying. Hi, exactly. Yeah, this actually works. Samuel, yeah, this actually works. The reason is I was actually not writing the whole path, but you have to start it from the package itself. So it is, and actually it makes sense because remember we are running this utility manage.py that is in the root folder, right? So we're actually mapping from the root folder, and if at all you want a specific test inside the actually the class itself, test views, I think you can still do that. Maybe you can say dot user register user register view test. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that means they're only running the, and even inside there you can still do the dot notation again, and maybe say test underscore user underscore get underscore registered. Yeah, this should work. Yeah, it still works. So you really see that you can actually go through the whole value chain if you want. Yeah, you can go through the whole value chain as long as yeah. All right. Yeah, so since time is not our best friend, at least let's try. I'm going to try to do one that will test the book view. So I will say class book list view tests. Then I will say it is also inheriting from test case. Yes, once it inherits from test case, okay, yeah, it is inheriting from test case, and we are going to try to see if at all if we do what, if we create the books that they exist. So I'll just say okay. I'll just let me add one more line. Def test. Okay. Books exist. Something there. Though I'm sometimes the naming may not bring out much sense, but the good thing you have it. You can come up with better names for this okay, maybe let me say should return list of books. Okay, should return list of books. Yeah. Now, but remember, you guys, remember that our book view, our book list view has a login required mixin. Yeah. And actually, again, tests make it very, very easy that we can just say, okay, I'm just creating a variable, but sometimes it's not necessary. So we just say self dot client dot login. Yeah. Okay, we want the client to log in using maybe the username of maybe Jdo, and password of 123. Yeah, but you could be asking yourself the question, okay, fine, this guy is going to log in with the username and password, but where did they come from? Because like I told you, like every method actually creates a special instance of the test database. Yeah. So, but there is a method that can help to set up some items that maybe we think will be used by most of these objects, and the setup method. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Stella is back. And the setup method, one thing it can set up is actually it can actually help us create a what? Create an object. Yeah, it can help us create a user object. Yeah, but I think still even the user object has not yet been. I think we have not yet imported it. Yeah, we have not yet imported it. Basically, you get the user object maybe from yeah, it is from contrib, from Django dot contrib dot auth dot models. That's where we're importing user. All right. So after importing user, we can just inside the setup here, we shall just say maybe user dot objects dot create. I think it is underscore user. Yeah. Then I think it takes in the username, the email, and password in that order. In that order, yeah. Yeah. So, but we have to use these values here because those are the ones for. So we can say username. We say is Jdo. Then a comma, email is equals maybe Jdo at email.com. Then we can have a password. Password equaling to the strong password called 123. Yeah, since it is done in the setup, yeah, so it will be upon this class to actually have that database already having the user, at least the user object inside it, so that we just log in. Yeah, but if at all you had preferred, actually you would still have created it in the book exists, so that you can just use it the way you want. But wherever you create it, but usually it's always good to create it in the setup in that setup method. Yeah, because it is just overridden from the text case class. Okay, so line 34 will actually log in the user. Yeah. Then this one I'll okay, still let me follow our convention of having the URL. Let's say it's okay, reverse, because to get the list of books, we have to, the list is yeah, it is here, book list here. So this is the name of the what? That is the name of our, that is the name of our route. Yeah. So just paste it inside here. Yeah, I'll just paste it inside there. Then of course I'll generate. I'll try to do the self. I'm going to actually make the request now. Self dot client dot get. It's a get request, by the way. Yeah, because with the book list we are not posting anything. We're just removing that list of books, and of course it will take in the URL. I think that's all it takes in the URL. Yes. Then we check the response with a self dot assert equal. Yes, equal. Anyone guess what the response will be? The response code? Anyone to guess? Response dot status underscore code. Any guesses? Because when I look through it here, I think it is just rendering this what? This book underscore list dot html. It's just rendering it. Yeah. There is no chemistry there. So I think it will be a 200. Yeah. Yeah. So since it's a 200, that is okay. Yeah. But if at all you want to do more tests, we can still do more tests, because remember there is a context object called book list here, right? There is a context object called book list. You can actually test to see if at all that context has been sent to the template. You can test that by doing self dot assert equal. Then no, actually it is not dot assert equal. It is yeah, because one thing you know, this is the name of the what? This is the name of the context. Yeah, but it is storing this query set. It is storing the product that so whatever is got from here is stored inside here. So we will say dot assert. Let me try to look for a method here. Yeah, query set equal. Yes, that's the one I wanted. Yeah, query set equal. Then we shall say, okay, response dot context Then the name of our context, it is book underscore list. I'm just using here, yeah, because here they are saying context object name. I'm just looking for it there, and would like to know if at all it's the one that has been output there. So we shall say book. Wait. Okay. There is one thing actually I forgot, but you guys actually didn't. Yeah, maybe you didn't remind me. Yeah. We also actually have to do what to after logging in. After logging in, we have to create a book. We have to create a book that we store inside the what? That we store inside the database, so that it's the same book that we shall try to get out. Yeah. Hope you're getting that analogy. Yeah. So I'll just do book is equals to, hope I had imported book here. Okay. I'll just say from books.models. Let's import book. Yeah. So I'll just say book dot objects dot create, and I'll just create any book here. There was a book called when we were still in school called, I think it was Gulliver's Travels. Yes, this is the name. This is the name, and then maybe pages, maybe there are 400 pages. All right, yeah, something like that. So once we are done with that, so it's actually this book that we shall be checking if at all it is in, it has been brought back by that context. Yeah, kind of something like that. Yeah. Hope this is okay. Let's try to run it. Wait. I should not run the long version. Let me just run all the tests. Yeah, and they have run. Yeah. So basically, at least I was just trying to show you how, but you can also add other assets now, like to test if at all the template that has been rendered is book underscore list.html blah blah blah, whatever will convince you more that actually this test will cover a lot of bases. Yeah, but based on the time constraint, we won't cover a lot of tests here today. Though there is before we go, I think we should be done by 4:30. If I told you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the chat box. But I wanted us to look to look at coverage before we can call it a day. Yeah, pip install coverage. Basically, what coverage does, actually, I think even I already have it in my code here. Yeah, basically, what coverage does is to see how much of your code has been tested. That's what coverage does. It only checks how much of your code has been tested. Yeah, and to run it, we do this command here. I already had it in my history. Coverage run manage.py test, and then the report. Yeah, that is all. Yeah, this is enough. Yeah. So basically what it has done, it has tested these files it is telling you about. Yeah, and then it has showed you the percentage that has been tested. So it is up to you to do what, to test the rest, right? And it tells you for now you have tested 86% of your code, but you should always aim at achieving 100% of your code, right? Yeah, it's always very, very important. And there is another command also, but if at all you have questions, please ask in the group, ask in the chat as I try to finalize. I'm trying to run here. Now there is just another command here for coverage that says you do a coverage, but you also generate an HTML what folder called coverage. Yeah. And when we go here, actually we already generate a folder for HTML, and then let's try to open with live server here. So when you try to open with live server, it's the same. Actually, it's the same content you see there, but this time around, you can just go ahead and click on where I think you still need to test more. Now, like here on views, when you click on views, it will show you anything in red. That means that one has not yet been tested properly. You need to test it. Now like here, this is actually a very good homework for you guys. Now like here, you're like, okay, if at all I'm to register, here is like, if at all I'm to register and the username is not given, this one should be rendered, right? Yeah, that means you guys, this gives you an opportunity to kind of like, you have seen what has not been tested, then you go back and try to test it. The same goes with email, and every time you finish a test, it will put it in green, and it will do what? The coverage will go up. Okay, let me try to do for you this one, if not username, right? For if not username, I'll just go up here and just say okay, get user registered. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to copy this. I will paste it here. Get you test user get registered, maybe without username. Yeah, I won't put the username, so I'll just come here to the username and do what? And leave an empty string. Yeah, but this one says if at all the username is not there, that means it should render register.html. Okay, so I'll just come back to the test and say okay, since it's rendering register.html, the status code will be 200. It won't be a reverse. I will actually right now I want to check for the template that is being rendered. I want to check the template that is being rendered. I'll just copy this. I'll just copy that and paste it there. Yeah. All right. Now, hopefully this works. So if at all I try to run this, let me see. Last time it was 86%. I think now it is. Let's try to refresh this. You see what I'm talking about? Now line 22 actually is in green. That means now that part of our code has been tested and it is working well. Now that means I have to also test scenarios whereby the email is not given, the password is not given, just so that I can actually put them in red. When I look at the login, I haven't yet done anything on login. I haven't yet done anything on logout. I haven't yet done anything on home. I haven't yet done anything on the create. Also the update I've not yet done. Yeah, so basically this coverage kind of like helps you to at least give you a glimpse of how much you have tested, and then of course you do the needful in trying to do what to make sure you test those parts of your code. Yeah. So for now, all I'm requesting is you guys to try to at least test as much as possible.